go. So everyone knows that we have new campaign in Sephora, and it is the juices that we have, the all natural plant based cold pressed juices. Um, and everybody's writing on cold pressed juices, which is a great keyword. Paul did a wonderful training on it Thursday. He created a page, showed you how to go in to the back office, pull up your link, actually open your link into the actual company, get you some information from there, and create a page on that and how to modify it. It's great. So catch that. I think he actually posted it or getting ready to post it. He's been without power for a couple of days. The hurricane kind of hit him up there.
Oh,
He's
wow.
still showing some effects of it. We lost him today on the training because of his internet went out again. But um, it just had me thinking that I have tons and tons of vegan and vegetarian friends um, that are into the cold pressed juices and anything that is non-meat. so and my Facebook, I have 3 or 4 different groups that I'm a part of because when I first started, I was like, well, I want to see what the hype's all about as far as the vegan and vegetarian, how they supplement their things and basically how the lifestyle and when I first did it, I was actually looking into it on how it relates to the keto program. But I found out there's tons of people I know that's in the vegan community that we kind of touch back bases on. And so I've been thinking all week, how can I relate this new product to that group and to that genre of people. So y'all know I'm a researcher, so I'm going to do a screen share real quick. Actually, I'm going to cut my video on. Let's see if I can cut my video on. And I'm going to show you some
You're
books.
blobbing on us some, Sheila.
Yeah. So don't look at me. I've been at the ball field all day, so I have no makeup. I'm sweat laden. So,
So
Don't look
that's
at
what you
me.
look
My
like.
hair is all crazy.
That's what you look like.
yeah. So
Yeah.
here is, and I'm sitting by the air conditioner in the hotel, so my hair is kind of blowing everywhere because I'm hot.
You're beautiful.
So thank you. So here's one of the books I have, and here's another one that I found, and it's all plant-based products, you know, um, and it has desserts in it. It has this one is nothing but plants, everything. I mean, it goes from bananas all the way to peas. It's got lettuces in it, papayas, grapefruit, vegetables, uh, all kind of spices that can be made from it. But,
You tried the meat one yet?
huh?
Have you tried the meat one yet?
Meat one what?
Meat. It's a hamburger or sausage, and it's plant-based.
Oh,
I think it's
yes.
a hamburger.
It's a hamburger.
You
They
tried
actually
it?
they have a turkey burger too. If you season it right, you can't tell that it's not meat.
Huh.
Yep. So and I've in this book here, because I read everything that I get my hands on. There's a word in here that I found, and it's called flexitarian. Um, and it's a vegan or vegetarian that sometimes supplements a meat product periodically. Not so they're true vegetarians, but their body craves and they need that meat flavor, that meat taste. So whenever they do it, instead of just pigging out or trying to substitute, they just take this little bite or that little bit just to get the um, that craving to go away. But it's a new term, and it's called flexitarian or semi-vegetarian is what the definition of it is. So that book has all kind of stuff in it. So it had me thinking, what other keywords could we use um, to go in there and see? So let me cut this off, and I'm going to do a screen share. And so I went into Jaxie. Y'all know I have Jaxie. And so I wanted to look up and see. I haven't looked up that key phrase, but I typed in plant-based, and Lord have mercy, there's so much stuff on plant-based. I mean, you can talk about the plant-based products, but you're competing with a bunch of people on that. You don't have a whole lot of traffic. You got plant-based diets. That's diet and diet plans and meal plans for plant-based is a great keyword. Then you have your plant-based foods, but then you have, you know, you're still competing with a lot of people. So I went through this and I was like, okay, what do I want to be able to, you know, type on or write about? And so here's a good one. You still have a lot of traffic, or a lot of people you're competing with. It's normal. It's got 71%. But this is the one that caught my attention. What is plant-based foods? Okay. And it's got over 4,000 searches. There's only 16 people using this key phrase. And you have a 90% chance rate of getting on those first 5 pages with this search term. So it's a very low used key phrase, but it's highly searched. Now, the good thing I was thinking about this is we're using plant-based foods. You can use that and you can talk about your Sephora, your Blue Scorpion in there. You can use that in your beauty products. You can use you can use it for we're going to use it for our plant-based juices that we have. But in there you can also put recipes. You can put your recipes in there for your different vegan products, your vegan foods like your salads, your pasta salads. You can do I have this great lasagna that I fix. You can that is all meatless. You know, same thing with different things that you may use around your house. You know, like you can use guacamole. You can use like a veggie tray that you can put in there. You can also cross market it with your wines. You know, hey, all of our wines are keto friendly. In case y'all didn't know that, if you wanted to do a keto page. And the reason our wines are keto friendly is we add nothing to it. The companies that we have is all natural. Keto means that, you know, that it uses exactly what comes with it. So our wines are keto friendly. So you can use that too, market it off of that. But I was thinking once we do that and talk about, you know, plant-based foods, we can go through, you know, and talk about our juices, how they're all plant-based. Also, you can talk about your and this is how cross marketing works. You can also talk about your Valentis. If y'all didn't know, our Valentis products are plant-based. There's no chemical additives in those. So you can talk about your coffee. You can talk about your keto creamer. You can talk about the Valentis makeups. You can talk about, or the face creams, the anti-aging creams. Same thing with, I haven't checked all of the Scorpion products because they use Scorpion peptides. I don't think that can be considered plant-based, but I know the Valentis products you could. So there's another way to cross-market with the plant-based products. So right there, we have 2 different things that we can cross-market with our Sephora. So I think, yes, Amelia, you raising your hand?
Yeah, when you're doing that, would you just put in like a paragraph about, for example, keto?
Yeah, you can put it in there. And the reason you want to, I would suggest you use it like if you're using those for a topic, say like you want to say, oh, this is also keto friendly. Don't just use it in a sentence. Use it as a headline. And the reason you want to use those key phrases as a headline is because Google picks up headlines faster than it'll pick up a phrase in a sentence, in a paragraph. So then you can go ahead and do like, oh, did you know that we have some keto products, you know, and then list your stuff that you have that's keto friendly, like your wines. You can do your keto creamer, and then those would be where you do your internal links to your pages that you have for your keto creamer, or your pages that you have for your wine, or you can do a direct link to your Valentis products. It's totally up to you how you want to use it. A lot of people just go through, you know, and like I do, I research through the internet to find products, but magazines are really good too. You know, yes, some of them are kind of pricey. So when I say I research, I something hits my fancy, you know, and it sticks to me, and I have to find out everything that I can about it. And that's one of the things that it's just been popping around, you know, for a while, but it's just this new product that's come out has kind of stuck with me. It's like, okay, I really need to write a page about that. So that's one of the things that we're going to do today is show you how to start that page based on the information And I'm going to use some of these terms that's in here because you know what? People will search for them. Like matcha. I don't know if y'all know anything about matcha. It's a tea. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
it. And I mix it with my salads. I put it in my salad dressings. Sometimes I mix it in my smoothies. And what it does is it helps build up break down your metabolism. It speeds it up so that it breaks down your fats, and gets rid of it. Builds up your immune system. So that's one of the things that's in here. And you can buy it at, any health food store. And I think, certain high-end grocery stores has it in their spice section. But there's all kind of things that you can talk about and that will cross market with this key phrase. Rumbling noise. If you hear rumbling noise, it's probably my air conditioner.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I can shut it off. If I get too hot, I'll cut it back on. So I am in a hotel, so I'm sorry if I lose internet. I have my Wi-Fi card here because the hotel internet is not that great. So, all right, there you go. So, okay. And there's cars going by. We're right here at the freeway. We are in Richmond, Virginia. So,
Wow.
Okay.
so yeah.
Gotcha.
Excuse me? Yes, I'm in Richmond. How far are you? Where are you?
I'm like south of the river, honey.
Ooh.
We
I'm
I
like,
heard that.
do you cross the James River to come on back south?
That I don't know because my husband drives and usually I'm reading my Kindle.
Do 95 south?
We are in between Richmond and Mechanicsville or Mechanicsburg.
Oh my God, you're so close. All right, never mind.
Wow.
I thought about you when we were at the ball field yesterday. I was like, where is Miss Constance? I need to find out where she's at.
Wow.
So, but yeah, we are right here. We'll probably be here till tomorrow. And so, because he's playing his tournament, then next week we won't have class. I just want to tell you because next week's my daughter's baby shower, so I'll be doing that.
I was wondering about that.
Yep. On the 22nd, I will be doing the training for Wine Ambassador. We're actually going to be going over how to do a wine tasting social or wine social. So depending on how long it takes me there, I may or may not be able to do class. Just jump on. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, we're still wherever we need to be or wherever I'm at. So what I'm going to do is,
Sheila,
yes.
make sure you send me a couple of bottles on the 22nd because that's my birthday.
Oh, it is? Okay. Happy birthday. I'll send you something. All right. So let me get into my website here. And I'm going to show you how I always start my page. If those of you that have watched me create a page, I always just come and hit up here. I go to new and I go to page. Okay. All right. Does that look right?
I've not seen that previous thing you just put up there, the block editor.
Well, I did I cleaned out my computer. So I got rid of everything that was non-essential. So now it's whenever I click something on that I haven't been on since I cleaned it, it lets me know that thinks that it's a brand new system or it's a brand new program. So it tells me all the stuff. So if you ever go in and do an update on your system or do a clean out on your system and you come back into your website, you'll see all these things where it's telling you to go in and look at the different functions and formats that you have in there. So that's what that is. So the first thing I always do just to make it easier and to keep me on track is I choose my title. And so since my title I'm going to use is, where was it? What is plant-based foods? Was that it? Yep. So, and this one, and here's the thing, a lot of people says, well, that's not grammatically correct. So I'm going to show you the grammatically correct one. This is what is plant-based foods, and look at the searches. Then if you go to the grammatically correct one, what are plant-based foods? Look at the drop. So when I tell you, when you deliberately or unintentionally have grammatical errors in your page, it works to your advantage, because people are not concerned about grammar so much as they are concerned about content and if it relates to them. So if you go through your page and fix every grammatical error in there, you probably won't get as much traffic as if you do, if you as you would as if you speak like everybody else. Those of us that are very conscious of things like that, it's hard for us to do. I have to make myself not to do that. So sometimes when I finish a page, I don't go back and proof it for that reason, because I know I'll go back and change everything. So a lot of times when I post
You
a
really-
page, yes,
You really think that if it's not, if it's incorrectly spoken or incorrectly that's okay? I mean,
yes,
I don't know. I wouldn't like that. I
yes.
really wouldn't.
Trust me,
Wow.
it doesn't sound like it would be, and this is the logic behind it. And this is just based on study and what my website itself did, and what I've learned from different studies and different study groups and research. Most people would rather for you to tell them on their terms or on their level and let them see things than for them to feel like you're superior to them. And even in writing. So if your page is grammatically correct and perfected and perfect, they won't read it because they will feel that you are superior or that they are inferior to you. And they was like, I don't want nothing to do with this. This person's too
Right.
perfect.
I want them to get the correct and good information.
You can do that and not be grammatically correct. I promise you, it doesn't make sense, but it works. If you have, I mean, it doesn't mean that your whole page has to be littered with, grammatically incorrect information or, punctuation or anything like that. But if you have one or two here or there, it makes your page more human, I should say, more personable than if you go through and it looks like a professor went through it with a fine-tooth comb to make it perfect. People won't read perfect pages. They don't like
Well,
it.
Okay. I know mine will be perfect no matter what.
And that was my problem, was I would go through and read it and reread it and reread it to the point to where I would usually just put it in draft because I couldn't make it perfect. And it took me going to one of the seminars and sitting down and listening to Paul one day at a table at a restaurant and pulled out a piece of napkin and did a presentation right there with our waitress. And I went, God, okay, he didn't need to have it perfect. He was doing it on a napkin and it just clicked. I was like, okay, I don't need to be perfect. People are not perfect. They don't want to read perfect. They don't want to see perfect. They like flaws because then they can relate to flaws. This person's just like me, I would have said the same thing. So that's what I do. So now when I write a page, it's very rarely I go back and proof it. So if somebody comes back and say, hey, you did this and this sounds like this, unless it's really, really, really bad off, I will leave it. Just for the fact that it gets more traffic, it relates to more people, because then they'll read it and they was like, oh, she messed up. Okay, let me keep reading. Because then they'll read to see what else I messed up. And in the intern, they'll be reading my content and it'll click. And then next thing you know, they're not concerned about what's wrong and what's not wrong. They're actually engaging into my content. So it's a twofold thing, but again, it's your preference of how you want it. I'm just letting you know based on my experience and what my research has told me, people won't read a perfect paper. I mean, if you don't believe it, get a newspaper and read through it. You will find at least one or two. I don't care how precise the newspaper is. There's always going to be 2 or 3 faux pas in there. It never fails.
Google won't say anything. Google won't say anything.
No. As long as you
Okay.
have that green and green in your, that's all they're worried about is the green and green. Your flesh score. When you look
Yeah.
at your flesh score, as long as it's high, as long as it's not an orange, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
They're
fine.
only anal about transition words.
And as long as it's not green and green, as long as it's green and green, those transition words, because I still got one, I'm still trying to figure it out and it's driving me crazy. So I had to walk away from it. I ain't looked at it in 2 weeks. So So, all right. So,
Okay.
so yeah, that's just a little tidbit. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put my title. All right. And I'm gonna put a
Sheila,
comma.
if you need that air condition, you need to turn it on.
Oh, I'm good right now. I don't,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good right now.
Okay.
I had it set to like 62, so I don't want the air conditioner to freeze up the hotel room. All right, so
Okay.
from,
Just checking.
yeah, I'm good. So from here, I am just going to do a couple of things. I am going to go to one of the sites I looked up, as if it's still here. And I'm just going to pull a definition. All right, plant-based foods.
Yeah.
And we're going to see how many people out there are actually competing for this. So I'm going to look up. It's usually it pulls me up in a Wikipedia over here. And it doesn't. Let's see. Let's see, here's some, I could actually use this as a listing if I want to. I don't want to do diet. I want to do plant-based foods.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see if that, there it goes. So here, and this says diet. And I don't want diet. I just want plant-based diet of plant-based diet. See, everything's a plant-based diet. See, try to say that 10 times. So I don't have an exact definition of what I want. So I am going to create my own. Because everything is plant-based diet, diet, diet. And I don't want to do diet. I want the actual definition. And
Sheila, what if you just put what is plant-based food in your search?
because it'll pull up foods. I just want to know what plant-based. I want to give the definition of plant-based. So,
Okay.
Say eating program.
so what
Did you
I'm
put
going,
definition in the front?
huh?
Definition of, and then
Yep.
your query?
Yeah, I just did that. So I'm going to go to this handy dandy book that I paid for and write down what it says. Plant-based foods are. All right, so according to this, it says what
Oh.
basically that's what it said is a plant. So that's how you spell kelp. All right. All right. So there's my opening. And I have so many things in here that I can pull topics out of. So I'm just talking about plant-based foods, and I'm telling them right now it's from the earth, okay? But there's also can come from the sea. Then I'm talking about farms and gardens. So that's another topic you can talk about. I'm talking about fruits and vegetables, how they're imported and exported to cope with shortages and even taste. So there's another thing, taste preferences. So now I'm going to create my outline. And so here I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and create my headline, my heading, and I always use H2 for headings. And I'm going to do types. All right, so we're going to list out the different types. And in here, we're going to put earthbound. And this will probably be an H. I need to actually change this to an H3. And then we're going to have another one, which is going to be
Seafoods.
C's. Yep.
That's me. I'm on the seafood diet.
See everything you eat. I'm right with you.
And you've heard that book.
Yep. And I hate the one thing I hate about travel is I'm not a eat out type of person. I'm a Southern girl, so I cook all the time. If we go out to eat, it's usually because my husband's wanting to do something special for me. But other than that, I cook. So when we're out here, you know, and he always gets a room that does not have a kitchenette, so I can't cook. So we're going out, and my body doesn't like it. It is just like, it just kind of shuts down. I won't eat, and if I do eat, it makes me sick, nauseous, or whatever. So he's like, you got to fix this. So I always bring food with me. You know, I make chicken salad or pasta salad. You know, put it in a cooler. So when I get here, I put it in the fridge. So I have food for me and the kids. But you know, they're kids. They go to McDonald's. My husband can go to McDonald's or go out to eat, or, you know, but now I'm not going to turn down a good steak or a good seafood platter, but still every day I just can't handle it. It's just not something I'm used to. So, so we're going to talk. So there's the different types of food. And then we can even go through and actually do fruits. We can put fruits in here. And we can do tree vegetables, tree veggies, or fruits. Okay. And then from there, we can actually expand and do, and here's the other thing that's good about when you do a keyword search, see what else they have out there. So we're doing the foods, but what can we use as, here's another one we can use as plant-based products. So again, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna use that as a key, as a headline. Okay, and then here is where I am going to start listing my
Conclusion.
I'm going to use my cold pressed cold pressed drinks. I am going to use my I can use coffee for weight loss. Okay, this needs to be an H3. All right. And then let's see, I don't I can do anti-aging, and this is where it's going to be tricky, because we can do the anti-aging one H3. Just the anti-aging products. So we got our cold pressed drinks, we got our weight loss, our coffee for weight loss, anti-aging products. And we can even come so far as to say alternative medical therapy. Okay, and I didn't put treatment for a reason, because when everybody thinks of treatment, they think of a cure. So I say therapy because then, you know, therapy, those of us that have therapy for whatever reason, it's something you have to continue to go to. So alternative medical therapy. So there's one of the, so I have my whole page of where I want to go, and this will help me stay on topic for my different things that I want to do. And then I want to cross market, and you can actually do cold compress or cold pressed drinks. If you wanted to go so far as to do keto, you can add keto. It's totally up to you what you want to put in here. And then I want to do my conclusion. So I'm going to do another header, and I always put a conclusion in, a summary, or you can put summary, whatever you want to do, and summarize your page. And then that's where you can put your little tidbits in, you know, another referral. Hey, if you're ready to get started, just, you know, click here and go to our program. Or you can do a cross market for another product, or send them to another page. But your summary is where you're basically going to summarize your whole page in a few sentences, and maybe give them another offer or celebratory offer that they can go to and say, hey, now that you know this, dive into it, you know, things like that. So basically my page is outlined. I'm actually going to come up here. All right. So, and then here I'm going to send them, hey, let them know right up front. If you don't want to read all this, you just want to go dive into it. You know, like Paul says, give them a way to get out of your page from the beginning and go see your offer. So that's going to be right here. If I explain what I'm writing about, what it's based on. If they don't want to read all the different things, they can go here and keep going. But then if they want to, then I can come here, you know, they can read about the different things that they're going to, you know, want to put in here. So that's how I will structure my page. So the other thing I want to do is we're going to log into Sephora. For those of you that have Sephora, all of you should have this. You're going to go to your Sephora link. Got to see which one mine is. I have two different ones, and I can't get them to merge. That right one? That's the right one. Okay, so then you're going to come over to campaigns. And if you haven't clicked it yet, it's going to have it in available. If you already have your Blue Scorpion products, you should have one that's available and 2 in progress. I already have 3 in progress. So you're just going to click right here where it says in progress. It's going to pull it up, and you're going to come here to your Press Juicery. You're going to click Open Campaign. And this gives you some information. It actually gives you some descriptions on the company, what it does. So you can actually use that. The other thing you want to be aware of is that the bottles do come in plastic bottles and not glass. We've seen people say, well, they came in plastic. And the reason they're in plastic is because if they come in glass, the glass has to be distilled. That means it has to be heated. And as you heat anything, you're going to deteriorate the nutrients and the products in it. You're actually going to get rid of a lot of the proteins. You're going to get rid of a lot of the components in the juice that's there because of the heat. So that's why they're in plastic. Plastic has a totally different standard. They don't have to heat it. It doesn't have to be pasteurized. So that's why your juices will come in plastic. They can cold filter it through plastic without it messing up the actual product. So that's why it's not in glass. So you can actually use that in your page, because you're going to have people that's going to ask, well, why isn't this in glass? Because of pasteurization laws. That will mess up the pressed juice because it is cold pressed. Then it's no longer cold pressed, it's heated. And you lose a lot of your nutrients that way. So that's just a little tidbit that's right there. So you have your coupon right here for anybody that comes in. So you want to make sure they have that coupon somewhere in your page that they can use that. Then here's your link. So you can actually go click on your link and go to your link and read about your pressed juice. All
Yeah.
right. Yes.
On the coupon,
Yes.
That's what I was fixing to ask. Go back to the
What-
coupon
what-
part.
where you gonna put it?
Like right here where it
Uh-huh.
says coupon. So I'm gonna
Oh,
come
there
back
it is.
here. Yeah, it's in the yellow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come back here and number one, I'm gonna right here put well, that needs to be a comma. So I do see if I had to come back through there. And I'm gonna link this. And they can actually go to this one's I'm gonna open a new tab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I might just come back in here and say,
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's coming. Yeah.
all right, and then you're just gonna put your code in there. You can either copy the code if you want to.
Okay. And just type it in.
And then just paste it into your page. Use this at
Okay.
checkout. And then there's your code. And then the other thing you can do is you can link it so that they can actually go once they get there, see your juices,
Mm-hmm.
and use that code for checkout. So now once they click on it, they can click on this and it's going to go to that link. And they can read about pressed juices, and then they just copy that link in at checkout and they'll be able to get that 10% off.
Oh, so you put the link on the 10%.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
And then they
Got
know just use Roots Juice 10 and they get 10%, but let them know it's a 10% that they can get. I forgot what it is. Get with the instructor for, I got it written down somewhere. We get a 15%, but we have a different code. So for those that are in Triple R.
Yeah, we get 15%.
Yeah, you have, there's a different code though. I can't remember what it is. It's
15?
written down.
It's
hmm
it's 15.
It's 15, but the code's different. It's not 10.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a different code. I have my other notebooks at home. So the other thing you want to do is, I'm not going to sit here and write the whole page. That'll be something I do tonight, but I'm just going to be pulling out information. So you can do the same thing when you go to your code or go here like Paul did on the training the other night. Just read through the information. If you go to about right here, it tells you about the company. It tells you about the different products that we have. So, all the different things that they have available. There's different packets you can order, and it tells you, all the different things that they have at the company. So you can just come through here, the different programs that they have. You can actually go to our mission and read about what the mission is for the company, what they are setting out to do. So there's different things you can go here and explore. You can actually click where it says explore our full menu. You can explore that and it will tell you all the different things that they have available. It says nationwide. I don't know if it's outside the United States yet. I think it's right now, it's just in the US. I don't think it's outside. I have to double check on that right now. But I know it's in the US. I know Joel was saying, I don't know if Canada can get it yet. But as of right now, it's here in the US. And most people are getting it in like 2 to 3 days, depending on where they're located. So it's a good company. I'll probably get some for me and my husband. And there's different things that it's used for. Like I said, you can, here's one, they actually have ice cream. They have the juice brands. They have, you can make bowls with it. And it's all healthy. So this, like I said, this will be a good page to market depending on how you write it, and depending on what angle you're coming from. Now, if you're coming just from the pressed juices, then make sure you market it anywhere that's health conscious people, and even states. You want to make sure that you're going in and doing those researches on the states. You can actually key in Google, the most healthy state, the most keto friendly states, the most health conscious states, and or even the vegan, which state has the biggest vegan community or biggest vegetarian community. And that will help you narrow down your marketing. If you only have a certain amount of time you want to market, and you want to flood the market with, where is going to get the most valuable hits, then you want to make sure that you have that information. Google is a great research tool. So even though you've created your page, don't just automatically just say, well, I'm going to market everywhere. That's good. You want to do that, but also try to pinpoint your marketing. Say, okay, who am I marketing? What group am I marketing to? I already know this page here is going to be marketed to health conscious people. It's also going to be marketed to a vegan community, vegetarian community, because I know that's what they're looking for. I know this will be something that appeals to them. And it's going to give them different options. They're not just going to have one product. I'm going to have multiple products that they can use that's going to appeal to their lifestyle. So those are some of the things you need to be thinking about after you write your page, or even when you're writing it. Who are you appealing to? Who do you want this to market to? That doesn't mean that you just not write a page because you don't know. Just write your page, and then if you think of something along the way, that's why we have this wonderful edit button. Go back and redo your own pages. I've done mine several times because I've thought of something afterwards, and I went back and I was like, okay, I got to restructure this to make it sound right. And make sure that you are marketing to as many people and genres as you can. Don't limit yourself just because you yourself are not doing whatever it is. Like everybody knows, I don't drink wine. So why would I not market wine? It's a good marketing tool. So I need to research it based on what I know. I know my limits. I can't tell you. Don't ask me what it tastes like. I can't tell you. But, that doesn't mean I can't market it, because I have a lot of friends that do drink wine. So I can ask them their opinion. I do all the time. Hey, here's another bottle we just got. Taste it with this food. I was told it's good to pair with. Let me know what it tastes like. Sometimes I even cook a meal and invite a friend over and say, okay, you're going to try this wine for dinner with me, and let me know what it tastes like. So there's different ways that you can market, even though you yourself are not in the program or don't particularly like that particular, product. That doesn't mean you can't market it. If it's something you don't like and you just like, well, hey, I don't like this, I can't find a good way to market it, then don't market it from a research standpoint, and then say it doesn't appeal to me, but that's just my preference. You don't have to lie about anything. I know I got a lot of students that say, I don't like that. How am I supposed to market something I don't like? It's called research. Research the material, find other people's testimonials, and then you can use their testimonials in your page, and then put your own in there. Say, this is what they've said based on their preference. This is my preference based on my personal usage, but everybody's palate's different. Everybody's preference are different. Give it a try and see what your preference are. It could be a whole nother marketing tool for you that you can use. And I even have a couple of my pages where I let people leave comments on, hey, did you try this product? Leave a comment and tell me what your preferences are. And even on my Facebook, I don't know if those of you that are on my Facebook, I did a meal the other day and I took a picture of it, and it was a barbecue roast beef, and I put some fried rice and some steamed vegetables in it, and I took a picture of it and I said, all right, this is my meal. Tell me what wine you'd put with it, and you could do it the same way. Hey, here's my new product. Put your link to your page in the comments, and say, hey, if you try it, leave me a message. Leave me a comment on which one you like best or what you didn't like about it, and get that feedback, get that
Sarah,
rolling in.
How do you open it up? How do you open it up for people to leave a comment?
There's actually a section when you go to create your page right here where it says discussion, allow comments. And when your pages is posted or your page is complete and published, it will have a little section down there where it says leave a comment.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, and so what you need to do though is, if you are doing that, you want to make sure that you're coming and looking at those pages, and if there's somebody that's in there and they're just being blatantly disrespectful, you have the right to remove that comment. I haven't had that. I've only had one, and what they were talking about had nothing. They wanted to use my website as their soapbox for I forgot what it was they were talking about, but it had nothing to do with what my article was about. So I just removed it. But
What,
people will come in and see those comments, and they'll read it, and they'll be like, okay, well, I can put mine in there. So, but you don't want to do it on every page. But if there's some pages, like I said, if it's a preference where it's something you don't like, or even if it's something you do like, have people leave a comment if you can, if you want to. All right, hold on. Let me check the chat. There's quite a few people here in the chat, so let's see what's going on in here. Matcha tea.
Oh, so it's matcha. I thought it
Matcha.
was leather.
Yeah, it's called matcha tea.
M-A-C-H-A?
M-A-T-C-H-A, matcha. Yep. And it's ground. The one I have is a brownish green, and it's a powder. It's a very fine powder, and I sprinkle it. Like I said, I mix it with my salad dressings and put on my salad. Virtually has no taste. I put it in my smoothies, but it helps with your metabolism.
How much do you put in?
Depends on which one you get. The one I get, I put like I think it's half a teaspoon.
Okay.
Yep. So
So are you gonna have to ground it yourself, or can you get
no,
it ground already?
it comes already grounded. Mine comes in a little packet.
Okay.
Yes, you can use the pictures. So at the bottom, it's Sephora. When you open the campaign, they have these pictures. So all you have to do is just download them into wherever your file. And we've talked about this before. Make sure you have set up a file in your computer that's specified just for your pictures you're going to use on your website. I have Dropbox. I have the professional Dropbox that's got gobs and gobs of space. So I don't need to do that. But if you don't have a Dropbox, or you have the free version, you can always use your computer. No matter what computer you have these little icons. Mine's on the side because that's where I had them put. Some people's have them down here at the bottom. All of them should have this little icon right here, which is your folders file. Okay, so all you need to do is click on that file, and it gives you a screen like this. Depending on if you have a Mac, it might look different, but it will give you this option. And then you're just going to go here to where it says file, and you can click where your file is. Now, if you don't have one, then you want to make sure that you create a new folder. All right, so then you're going to click on your home button, and right here it's going to have new folder, and you're just going to click that, and it's going to open up a new folder for you. Okay, mine's not going to do it right now for whatever reason, so I'm going to come here, but I'm going to pick it. So where do I want this to go to? So I want it to go to my pictures folder. So I click on pictures. Okay, and then I'm going to click home, and right there it's saying there's a new folder. So I'm going to click new folder. Okay, and I'm going to do it today, but we've done it before, and I'm going to name it. So here's my folder right here. It's called Blogging Pictures. So once I click on the folder, it's going to have a blank folder. It's just going to say blank, or it's going to say new folder like this. And then you just right click it, and it's going to give you the option to rename it. And you can put, you know, website folder pick. Okay. And then what you want to do is click on that website, that folder, and it's empty. The good thing about this is where you can go in and create subfolders. So then you're going to open up a new folder, and you're going to name it. And you can put Sephora Picks. All right, and then you're going to click on it again, and then you can put in Bitcoin. You can say pics or images or however it will help you. You can click on it again, and you can put Blue Scorpion. And it will alphabetize them for you. Do it again. Okay. And then what you want to do is say, and then this one I'm going to click, and I'm going to put all right, plant-based products. All right, so now I'm going to close this. And then I'm actually going to come over here to Sephora, and I can download this. See, and it's pulling up. Where do I want to save this? All right, so I know I put it in my images, my pictures. So I'm going to pull up pictures. I'm going to pull up my web folder pics, and I'm going to pull up plant-based. And this says main photo, so I'm going to put main photo cold pressed. And my image is saved. Same thing with here. I'm going to click on this one. It's going to pull up the last place I was in, which was here. And this it says press 3. And I'm going to put juices, so I know what it is. And then I'm going to click here.
Oye, can I bother you a little bit nomás? Eh?
All right. And then I'm going to put yogurt. I messed my U. All right. So that's how you can do that. And then I'm going to actually go to Google, and I'm going to look for plant-based foods. And I'm going to click images. And look at all this. See, this is great because this is heart healthy. And see, this is the other thing that you can click on is when you do find something that's like this, I can actually tie this page to heart healthy foods and wines, and then send them to my wine page that talks about red wine and heart health. So already I can see this is going to be a good cross market. So I'm going to click save image as, and you always want to do save image as, because then that helps you identify where you want to save it and also name it. And this is a JPEG, so people's like, well, you already had things in there, but it's a different file. So I'm going to use it as JPEG. This is what the file itself is, and I'm going to put heart-shaped veggies, so I know what it is. And then here's a great picture of a salad. That will look great. Save the image as, and I'm going to put salad, plant only. And you can actually use this one. This is a good one because it also has some herbs, chickpeas, nuts, fruits, veggies. There's some roots right there. So I'm going to click on that, save as, and I'm going to put plants and herbs. And, you know, just anything. Oh, there's my book. Yay! See right here, here's a good smorgasbord. They actually have that, you know, as a diet. This is one of the diet plans. So, you know, if you wanted to actually put that in there in your page, since it is a good, you know, people are looking for it, I can actually come in here and maybe not put all right, and then I can just go in and, you know, maybe put a couple of recipes in there, you know, and take some pictures of that. So I can put in here, you know, hey, we got a guacamole dip and some cucumbers and carrot slices, you know, as a snack. So I'm going to put this in here. You know, make a veggie sub, make a cold salad, make a soup. There's a picture in here and it looks delicious. It's a cream of mushroom soup, and I'm trying to figure out how to take a picture of it. And it looks really good. And they actually, there's one they did the broccoli and made a broccoli cream soup. But that mushroom soup looked really good. It was really creamy. The color was perfect. And same thing with zucchini. They had some zucchini spirals that looks like spaghetti. They used the zucchini as the noodles. So there's all kind of things that you can put in there to use. And not only that is when people search for that key phrase, my page can come up because I got plant-based diet plan. So that's another good key phrase that people are looking at. So I've kind of covered all the bases for some good key phrases, even though my key phrase is going to be plant-based. So I'm going to put it in here. All right. And all of a sudden it's giving me this sad face. And I can tell you that probably why is because I hyphenated plant-based. Okay, no, it didn't. I overused it. I don't have my meta description. I don't have it in my subheadings, and my length is too long, it's too short. So types of plant-based foods, and I can, and when it says higher, when it gives you that you don't have it in higher headlines or higher headings, that doesn't mean that you need to put it in an H3. Now, if H3 is the highest heading you have, then that's good. That's where it wants it to put it. But because I have an H2, if I put it in an H3 subheading, it's not going to pick it up. It's not going to tell me, hey, I need to use it in, I've used it correctly. It's always going to pick it based on the highest degree that you have. So I have an H2, so that's where I need to put my key phrase. And it won't look good there. That won't work because I'm doing products. So let's put it here. And because it's so long, I want to change it, make it more centered. And for those of you that were not on last week, we don't have to use our classic block anymore to do color or individual colorization. We actually have it here. So if you have your toolbar and it comes up right beside your link bar or your link button or icon, you have this drop down. If you click on that drop down, it gives you the option to do color text. So then you just click on your color text. You want to make sure that you highlight your text you want colorized. Okay, you're going to click your drop down, do your color text, and then you can pick your color. So I'm just going to do customize, and then you're going to move your tab over to whatever color you want, and then you can basically customize it from there. If you want it a little bit darker, purple, or more of a lavender color. And then there, so there's your, and you can do that with anything. Same thing with key phrases. So say I wanted to do this one, I have it linked, it automatically reverts to blue. So make sure that you do your link first before you do your colorization. So I'm going to highlight this again. My link's already in there. Again, I'm going to hit my drop down, do my color text. I'm going to do a customization. I don't want blue. Let's do a green since we are talking about foods. And there's that. And then I want to bold it because I always like my links to stand out. So I will bold it. And then if you want to make it italics, you can do that too. Give it a little bit more. And same thing with this. I always like to keep my paragraphs with the same color, keep the theme going. So I'm going to do the same thing. Color text, custom color, hit my green. And it might not be exact, but it should be close. Did it take it? I don't believe it took it because, let's see. Yep, there you go. So that's how you can do that. With your color, you don't have to use your classic block anymore to get your individual colorization. And then if you just want to do a whole paragraph, you can do the same thing. Then if you want to make a paragraph stand out, you just click on your paragraph and you have this little button that says drop cap, and it will drop the first letter. It doesn't look like this, sad to say. It's just a standard letter. So if I go here and click preview, I can see what it's going to look like. So you see, that's how it looks, sad to say. It doesn't look like the fancy Romans numeral that it does. that it shows, but I mean, it still stands out. So people usually will see that, hey, this paragraph might be important. Let me read it. So you can do that with important paragraphs or information that you have. Use that drop cap, makes it look a lot better.
Sheila, show that again, how you
Okay.
got it.
All right. So over here, you just highlight your paragraph. Just click on your paragraph so that your box comes around it. Then over here under block, you're going to have right under text settings, you have where it says drop cap. You just click on that icon and it drops the first letter in the paragraph. Okay. I wish it would let us colorize it, but it won't. That'd be awesome if we could. But that's how you get that drop cap. And it doesn't look like this. It's just a standard basic letter. It doesn't look as fancy as it does there. I wish it did, but it doesn't. But that's how you can do the drop cap. And then what we're going to do is we're going to import some of those pictures that we have. So right here, I am going to come here and do an image. And since I don't have the image in my library and I didn't copy it, because you can copy and paste an image into your site, I didn't do that either. I actually saved it into my documents on my website, on my computer, so that I can have it for future use. And then I'm just going to hit upload because it's not in my website yet. So I'm just going to come here. I'm going to go to my pictures. I'm going to go to my folder. I'm going to go to my plant-based products, and I'm going to pull one of these images out. So let's do this one. Oh. And it does that when it's too slow. Don't want it to do that. I'm going to put that one, see? If you don't have a good connection, that's one of the things that you will get. Sad to say. Nope. So that'll be all right. We'll get it later, but that's how you add your image. I'm just going to come here and remove this. So let's see if I can get it to copy and paste an image. We're going to try and see that.
Hey, Sheila, I have that problem a lot when I'm trying to color a sentence only, you know, like for the link, and it'll color the whole paragraph. I'm like, no, that's not what I want. And I have to go back and forth. And sometimes I go ahead and take it. Sometimes I just have to abandon it.
Yeah, so yeah, you don't just do what I just did.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to hit copy image. So if you want to color just a sentence, then all you're going to do is just highlight the sentence, put your link in it first. Okay, put your link in it, and then you're going to come back and highlight it again after your link's in it. Hit this drop down arrow right here, and then hit your color, because it's already colored. It's not going to let me do it. But hit this right here, hit your drop down image, and then you see color text. Linda Marie, still there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to kick it off so my air conditioner don't bleed over.
Yep. So you're going to hit your color text from your drop down image, and then you just choose your color.
Like I said, sometimes it doesn't do it. It does the whole paragraph. I'm like, no, not that.
Then you're clicking the wrong thing. Yeah. You don't want to come over here and hit this one. You don't want to hit this. You want to click this.
Yeah.
So make sure you have it highlighted, the individual one that you want. It has to stay highlighted. Okay. All right. So now
Can you try that on the T?
Yeah, I did. It keeps going away. I'm gonna figure it out though.
Well, I mean, before you toggle it, already have it colored before you toggle and see.
You know, let's try that. That might be the key right there. We're gonna learn something today. Okay. And then let's bold it. And then let's hit drop. Now let's see what it looks like.
Yay, it worked though.
It did that. Yay! We learned something.
We manipulated it.
We did. So there you go. So see, we learn something new every day, every class, something new. So again, perfect. Now it draws attention to the paragraph that you want it to draw attention to. This has a link in it. It has your promo code in it. So perfect. And you want to do that to those specific paragraphs that you want to draw attention to. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good. See, great minds. There you go. So now I'm going to see if we can post this page, this image. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit image gallery, and I am going to actually, let me see if I can just come here and hit paste. Yep. So nope. See, it won't let me go in there. So there's something wrong with the internet here. It's too slow. It won't allow it to stay. So I'll have to figure that out. But you can, the only thing about posting or copying over an image is just remember that you don't have it in there. So if anything ever happens to your site at all, and you don't have that image saved somewhere, you can't get it back. So that's why you always want to make sure that you put your images in a folder so that you can always have them for reference for later. All of your images that you ever use in your websites, always going to be in your gallery. So let me save this as draft. Okay, so your images will always be in your gallery, like I said, or in your media. Any image that you use in your system, even if you don't save it or download it, if you just copy it, it's going to see, because here's the image I just tried to copy over into there. It went into my image, but it didn't go into it. So this is not on my page, but now it's in my gallery. So it'll stay in your media library unless something happens to your website, then your library could be wiped out. So that's why it's always good to make sure that you have that folder in your system for you to be able to keep and look at for later.
Sheila?
Yes.
Does that mean that when you pick an image, if your website is established, it'll go into your folder, and you use it in your website, it'll also automatically pop up into your media library?
If you've already used it in your media, or if you've already used it in your website, it stays there unless you physically remove it from your media library. If you remove it from your media library, just remember it will remove it from every page in your system that you use that image.
Because I was taking some images from Google and putting them in a folder, and then I would, if I used it, I would take it from the folder and put it in the media library. That's not necessary.
No, the only time you, because then you're going to end up filling up your media library for images that you may or may not use. So if you have them in your folder, leave them there until you use them, and then just upload them as you need them. If you're pulling them from, go ahead.
How do you delete a image from your media library? I know you don't want to delete it if you're using it, but if you put it in there, you duplicated it.
Yeah, the only thing, because I did this last year, and I could kick myself because I didn't know, but I learned something, because I had multiple duplicates in there. The thing about it is even if it's a duplicate, if you use that duplicate on a page and you delete it, the computer, when you use it, it assigns it a number. So even though it's a duplicate and it looks the same, it's not the same number that it's assigned into that page. So if you delete a duplicate and you use that in another page, it's going to delete it in that page you used it in.
Okay. Well, I'm not that far along, so you just have to go back and stick one back in.
So all you have to do is just go to your media library, and then you just click on the file. And once you click it on, you're going to double click it, and it's going to pull it up. And then it should have the option right down here where it says delete permanently.
Okay, hang on a second. I got somebody's picture in there. It's down there at the bottom on the right.
Yep, down at the bottom. And you just delete it, and it's going to ask you, do you want to delete? And just hit yes. Now, and it tells you, and it tells you that you can't put it back. So even if you go back and put that image in, it's not assigned that same number. So it's not going to put it back in all the places that it took it out of. You're going to have to manually go through and find wherever that image was and paste it back in.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, I did that last year because I had a bunch of duplicate images. And I just went, oh, I don't need this image. I already used it. And then I was coming across pages that had a blank spot that had an image. And I was like, where's that image at? And it was because I uploaded it again and again and again. Even though it's the same image, it's assigned a different number per page. So because I used it in that page doesn't mean that's the same image. However, if you're in your media library and you pull your media library up and you find the image you want to reuse, then if you delete it, it's going to delete it everywhere. So that's why I always tell people, before you go and upload an image, if you know you've used it before, look in your media library, make sure that image isn't there, because you're just going to be flooding your system. So now I can't delete my images that are duplicated because I've used them in different places, and I'll have to, I mean, it's hard to go through however many pages I got to make sure that's not the one place I didn't delete it.
That's why I said I'll go ahead and do it now, because I'm not that
Yes.
far. It won't be hard for me to find duplicate image.
Yep. So that's the thing. So
Okay,
before you upload an image, make sure you don't already have it in your media library somewhere, and then just reuse it. If it's something that you downloaded, because I do that all the time, find cute pages or pictures that I want to use, I just put them in my folder, and then that way when I actually get ready to write a page, I just go and upload them from that folder. But you don't want to put images in your media library just on a happenstance that you may or may not use it, because then you're just using space in your website that could be used for something else.
What about the reverse? What if you delete a photo in your website? Does it flip back into your media
No.
library?
It
disappears.
stays in your media library until you delete it from your media library. If you remove it off a page, that has nothing to do with your library. You have to physically go into your library and remove that image for it to be removed completely out of your
Okay, so
system.
deleting it off of a page won't take it out of your media
No,
library.
it will not.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Sheila, while we're in the media part, is
Uh-huh.
there a difference between doing the media on the left side of your screen as to doing it when you're on the page and you click upload and you do the media in that square? Is that separate
No,
from
it's the
one on
same
left?
place. Yeah. This is just the housing for your media. So when you click on your image icon, your image block, and it gives you those 3 tabs. Do you want to upload it, go to your media library, or do a URL? This is where it's pulling that image from. If you tell it to go to the media library, it's going to pull this up, and then you have to search through the picture you want. If you upload an image, that means you have to physically tell them where you want to go. That means it's going to pull up the last folder that you were in your computer. If it's not where you want to go, you have to go and search and say, okay, I want to go to my pictures file. I want to go to my blogging pictures folder, and I'm going to find whatever folder you're looking for. And then that's where you're going to upload your images from. If you say, I want to go to my media library, then it's going to pull up your media library, and then you're going to scroll through and find the image you want, and then you just click it and it'll put it in there. Same thing with the URL. URL is usually going to be for video. I mean, there are some places that the images have a URL. You can use that too. But if you have a video, you want the URL for the video, and you can use that in there. A lot of people will use the YouTube or the, whatever the media block is for videos. You can use that too. I always use just the media block because it has the same information there that I can put in. So it just depends on your preference, but just don't flood your website with unused pictures just because you find a cool picture. It's like, hey, I might want to use this in my website. That's why you set up a folder in your computer for just your website images and label them. That way it stays organized. So if you have all your wine pictures in one folder, have all your blue scorpion images in one folder, have all your Valentis in one folder, have all your aging products in one folder, have vegetables and drinks and clothing, travel, have individual folders so that when you're pulling up images you want to use, you're not scrolling like I was through pages and pages trying to find one image of wine, and you got 100 images in between, and oh, there's a wine picture. Well, I don't want to use that one. Where's
That's
my other
where
wine
I'm
picture?
at. I'm scrolling through
Yep.
all the pictures and not finding what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
God.
the sad thing about, you can't organize your media library, but you can organize your individual photos. So do that, put them in folders inside a folder. So you're doing a big folder for your images, and then inside that folder, you're creating individual folders for individual pictures. Like I said, and you know, I have mine listed. I don't know if y'all saw that. So when I come up here and pull up my folders, you know, here's my Dropbox, and here's all of my images. Here's got Bitcoin. I got blogging pictures that I have. So if I pull up my blogging pictures, you know, here's my individual folders. You know, I have advertising pictures, bath pictures, you know, anything that I potentially could use in my website. Clothes for sale, clothes and fashion, coffee, cold and flu, Canada. I actually have keyword searches. ClickBank stuff, you know, family, culture. So, you know, even if I have to resize an image for some advertising sites, you have to have it in certain dimensions. So if I ever resize an image, I make sure I size it, you know, put it under there so I can find it later. You know, season and promotional stuff, shoes, which y'all know I have, you know, Southern foods, and all of these are related to pages I've written in my website. So they're right here for me to grab. And these are just images that I have that I haven't put anywhere. This is what I had before that I'm still sorting through stuff, creating folders to move them into. So there's different things that you can do, you know, inside of a folder. And then if I click on each folder, you know, if I do my chocolates, I click on chocolates. Well, here's all my chocolate pictures, and I just add to it as I find, you know, different pictures. So if I come back, you know, if I want to look at my wine, I just go to my wine folder, and I have several different wines. I got one with just wines. I got wine and cigars, wine and relaxing, wine and women, wine trip pictures. This is our pictures. I only got one so far. I think somebody gave me that one. When we were in New Orleans, you know, this is Triple R family in New Orleans. Y'all know some of these people that got to walk on stage. There right here, this is where Paul pulled out a napkin and showed our plan, showed how Triple R works. And it was amazing. I was like, okay, if he can do that there, I don't need to be so focused the way I was. So there's just so many different things that you can do, you know, and label it. So if I ever want to write about wine and relaxing, I have pictures of wine and relaxing. You know, this one I actually use. So different things that you can use. So, you know, organize your images so that you can find them very easily.
Sheila, when you put them in a folder out of your pictures where they were initially, you know, that you put in there, does it take it out of pictures and just put it into the folder, or is it still in pictures too?
No, it moves it. So you don't want to copy it. Okay. You want to move it. Then that way,
right? No.
Yeah, you just move it. So like I have,
it's a process.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I know that day one. That's something that should be taught day one.
Trust me, that's what I said too. I was like, and I knew better because when I used to work, we always had folders for everything. But
right.
I got so excited, it was like, okay, I like this picture, and I would just download it. It's like, oh, I love this picture, and I was just downloading it. So, but there is a trick to it. So if you click on the picture, you can actually, I'm trying to remember how it was. Where you can, like the picture tools right here, I think this was it. I have to remember how it is, but there's an icon where you can actually tell it to move it to what folder. I just have to remember where it says, because it's been like right here, move to. So I've clicked on this picture and I can say move it to, and then it's going to pull up all my images. So I can actually choose a location, and I'm going to click it and tell it to move it to my advertising. It's not background. So I'm going to come up here and hit my advertising pics folder and have it move it to there. And yes, I already have that in there. So that's one I moved and didn't delete it. So now that one's gone, it's there. So same thing with here. This is for apartments, you know, so I don't have anything there. I actually have a thing from ClickBank that does apartment furniture. So I got to create a folder for that. We don't do artisan soaps anymore. things like that. Like this is for background images. I was looking for things to put on my background, so you can actually create that. So like cartoons, I actually have one that says tunes, so I can do that. Click on that, just highlight it, go to home, go to move to, choose a location, and I'm going to go to, and sometimes if I click on blogging pictures, since there's folders and the blogging pictures, it's going to open that up, and I'm going to go to tunes. And click on that, and then just hit move, and it takes it from there and moves it into there. Same thing with like burgers and pizza. I can highlight that, hit home, move that. That actually needs to go into Southern Foods right there, and hit move. So, I mean, you can take time to organize, you know, that should be on your calendar at some point. Say, hey, I need to organize my website. Right here's credit solutions. You know, I can actually put that into for ViaPay once we get that back up and running. There's all kind of different things in there. I actually did a on Amazon for books, things like that. So I still got a lot of good things to go. Like this is games. I need to put this all in my paid to game folder. So yeah, so I still got a long way to go. I had, like I said, I was scrolling through things, just looking for images. I have a lot in there, but you know, there's different things that you can do to make sure
I
you
just
stay
wanted to make sure it
organized.
took them out of there because I spent one whole afternoon moving stuff and I've still got tons to move.
Yep.
And I'm
Now,
like, are these really going out of my pictures?
yeah, once you move it, it's going into whatever folder you assign it. Unless you physically tell it to remove it or delete it, it will be wherever you put it. You tell it to go. Okay, so that's basically all I have for today. As far as, you know, how to create your pages, how to get your website functioning, how to do, you know, another angle to get this page done. And I know some people were like, well, how do I find my page? Because mine's in draft. And all I have to do is just go to all pages. And, you know, this is why I tell people, get familiar with your website, know what it means. Up here, you have all your different categories. You know, you have all your pages you can see. You can click on just your published pages. You can click on your draft pages. I don't have a cornerstone page, and a lot of people's like, well, what's cornerstone? A cornerstone page is one page that you designate that's going to represent your whole website. I don't suggest you do it because we don't market just one thing. So don't do a cornerstone page. You don't need it. And then that's what we have our home page for. And then I'm just going to come to drafts, and it's going to put the last page that I had. Okay. See, this is a page I got to go back to. All these different pages I have in draft, I need to take some time to go through it. But like, here's my page. So when I get ready to go back in and work on it, it's going to be right there. This is one of the few pages that does not put them in alphabetical order. When you publish a page, it puts it in alphabetical order. Your all pages are in alphabetical order. When you go to draft, it puts it in time frame. So whatever the last thing you were working on is going to be the first thing that it shows up. So you won't have to be worried about, well, what was I working on? Where is it at? If you knew, hey, that was a couple of days ago, or if you knew the date, you can actually come in here and see the date that it was, that you were working on.
Sheila,
Yes, hold on. Yes.
do you have to place something in draft, or does it automatically go in draft when you
No,
start typing something?
you have to place it in draft if you're not finished with it. If not, it will, I mean, it has an automatic update. And before you leave the page, it will tell you, it'll give you that message, hey, you're leaving it, you know, and if you leave it, sometimes it will cancel your whole page out. It won't
So
save
it
anything.
indicates like review and all that stuff to
Yeah.
do a draft. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're not finished with it and you get that message, then just hit cancel and go and do save draft. If it's a page that you're finished and you just updated it, then most of the time it'll save the last 5 minutes before, if you leave the page without hitting update. And then you just have to come through and, you know, hopefully you remember what you put. But if it's a brand new page, if you don't hit save as draft, sometimes you can lose the whole page.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who else had a question?
I did on the
Okay.
at the top there, where it says last modified, go to the blue where it says date and click it once. And if you have to, click it twice and it'll, no, on down, sorry, to the right. Go down where it says, yeah, let's see. Yeah, right there. Click that. Just in the blue part though.
Okay.
And it should, okay, so do it one more time and it should put the newest at the top.
Yeah, that's the way it that's the default, is it puts the newest at the top
Well, you can also do the title to see
where you
the
are.
same, right, alphabetical, but it won't be newest date at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like to leave it that way because the way I write, like I said, I got all these that's in here. I usually don't put too much in draft, but if I get busy and get sidetracked and I've got it in draft, I'll forget to come and look and I'll end up writing a new page, which this is what's happened to this one because I've already got another Southern page. So you can get sidetracked, and I already have 3 TV pages. So yeah, all of these pages I already wrote other things for. So I'll probably have to come back in there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it tends to happen. Especially this month. Like I said, August, it's been, especially with the COVID. First they said we were going to do all virtual school, and now they're saying, no, we're going to go 1 day a week, and now everybody's up in arms. Well, I don't want my kids. Well, then they're saying, well, if you want your kids to go, let us know. If not, you're going to do virtual school. And it's just like, and the thing about it is I'm the one that's going to be taking care of my grandkids for school. So I have to be in the loop, and people are leaving me out of the loop. So it's a mess.
Yeah,
and then
it's been rough. I've got 4
Yeah.
educators in my family, and they all
Yep.
have to do something different.
all something different. And I'm thinking, how all the kids want to, my grandson, now I don't ever remember saying this when I was in school, but my grandson told me, Mama, I'm ready to go back to school. I don't ever
My
remember
granddaughter said the same way. They're set
But-
to go back in school the 24th, I think she told me the other day.
but he
she's
misses his
excited about it.
friends.
Yes.
Yeah, he misses his friends. No, I don't have a Mac. I actually have a Dell, a HP, and I have 3 Dells and 2 HPs. Right now I'm working on my HP. I've never had a Mac. I've told several people I need to get one just so I can learn how to use it.
You would enjoy it and love it.
That's
Once
what
you
I've
got 'em
heard.
back, you never go back.
Well, and the reason I asked that when you made the comment about saving a picture a certain way,
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, well, send me the link and I'll pull it up and do it.
Yeah. So that's why I told my
Can't do it in
husband, I
between
said,
those kind of computers, can you?
I said the next, yeah, because they're different, but they're not. I mean, they all do the same thing, but their function is different between a Mac. Now, Dell and HP, they're basically the same. I mean, you can interchange one and the other almost. But a Mac is a whole different animal. It has these different commands for everything, and short keys and everything. So I'm really tempted to get one just so I can say I've covered all my bases. Even Toshiba, I can work on a Toshiba like I can with an HP. It's basically the same. But a Mac, I get on it and I'm lost. It's like, okay, I got to figure this out.
Well,
And
you have hotkeys and shortcuts on a
you
PC.
just got to figure the commands.
Yeah, and your
Yeah.
command button is the same as control on
Yep.
the PC.
Yep. And see, that's the thing. That's what I said. It's got the command instead of control, where everything else has control. Mac wanted to be different, and it did.
Well, and I posted some stuff in the Mac chat that we
Uh-huh.
created. We've got 30 something people in it, but basically I went through and pulled up a site that actually shows you how to change screenshots into, instead of TIF or TIFF, into JPG or JPEG, to where we can get it in the format
Wow,
we need,
Barry, I
so
don't
we don't have
speak
to use a
that
snip tool.
language.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Barry, and I've noticed a lot of people are doing this, is you're posting stuff in chat, create a page and post your page.
Yeah, I need to do that. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that just the other day.
Yep. And I tell, every time I see somebody do that, I'm like, create a page and then give your link to people. Because even though it's our family, other people's going to be searching for that same thing. Use your keyword search. You will get traffic not only from our family, but they'll let other people know. Plus, people will be searching for it on Google, and you can come up with it. Even if you're using somebody else's video on your page, when they search for that video, put the key phrase under the video. You know, you have a comment section on the video. Put the name of that video there. Because when people search for it and they search for that video on YouTube, guess what? Your page will come up. They can read your page. So even though it's great information, because I find myself doing it all the time, then I have to remind myself, make a page. You know, even though it's great information, put that page out there and let people come to your website and see it. You'll get more benefit from it, because then they can retain it. They can bookmark it instead of having to search the chats to find it. They can say, okay, let me bookmark this page. This is what I need.
Right. I'm
That
gonna have to
makes
get with
sense?
you on how to do the link thing for YouTube. I didn't quite understand that, but
That's something we can go through. We got about 20 minutes. So if you are coming to, let me get here. We're going to go to YouTube. Okay. And I have to always switch accounts in YouTube. All right. So say we're coming to YouTube and I wanted to use this video. All right. And say you wanted to use one of these other videos. And I would just come here. I would hit copy URL. All right. And then I would come to the page, whatever page you're writing on. And let's go ahead and go to this page. We're going to do edit. And I'm just going to be using this for purposes, training purposes. And say, I'm just going to come here and I'm going to post a link. I'm going to do an image, insert URL. I'm going to put that URL there. Okay. And see right here where it says write a caption? This is where I'm going to put the name of this title, How to Use Google Docs to Make Advertising. Template. So every video that you copy from YouTube is going to have a title. Put that title in your comments, then your page will be able to be linked to that title for YouTube. So if they decide to click on your link that you have or your title, they're going to come to your page to watch that video. While they're there, they can see all your other information.
Okay, Sheila, I got a problem about when you get a picture there and it's got that part where you can put a link there. I put a link on it and it does the link letters and stuff. I'm going, no, I didn't want that. I just wanted the link on there. You can't just put a link. You have to put a title, don't you? And then
yeah, you never want to just put a link on there. You always want to make sure the link is embedded in a title or phrase or whatever. You don't just want to put a link there. So I don't want to just put my Sephora link here.
Okay.
You always want to put
one of those learned.
Yeah,
just learned.
You always want to make sure that whenever you're linking something, that it's linked to a phrase or a title. The reason being is people can't search a link. They search keywords, they search words, they search phrases, they search titles. They don't search links. So nobody's going to come there and say, well, what's hashtag, or HTTP Sephora.xx257. They're not going to look for that. They're going to look for travel destinations or travel plans or travel extravaganzas or things like that, or how to use Google Docs, or what's the best diet plan out there. That's what people's going to be looking for. So that's why you never want to put a direct link anywhere on your page. It always needs to be used on a phrase, a key phrase, a key title, a word. I never use just plain words. I always use phrases, even sentences or pictures. Use your pictures. Use a video. If you have a video, use that comment section and either put the title of the video or put your key phrase that you're writing about there, because then people can search YouTube for your key phrase and pull up your video that you have on there, and it'll come straight to your page. So use everything on your website to your advantage. Don't leave nothing on the table. You know, even if you're referring a friend, you know, I have friends all the time that say, tell me what you do. I say, here's my page. It tells you exactly what I do. And I send them to my page on how to edit a website. And on my page, it tells them how to edit a page. It tells them, you know, videos. One of my videos I pulled, it even has the Go video and it has the Keystone video. And then I have a response magic on there. Hey, if you want more information, fill out this form and I'll give you a call. So I don't sit there and tell them, you know, I'll just say, hey, here's my website. Go have a look at it. If you got any questions, you know my number. You know, unless I actually have time to sit down with them, and then I'll pull up my website and say, all right, here, you read this. Got any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them for you. Here, let's watch this video. So everything needs to be linked to your website, even if it's just basic information that you're like, hey, I just tell you what to do it, how to do it. No, put it in a website, put it on your website in a page. You know, even if it's just 300 words, short, simple, you know. I don't know if any of you have ever went and searched for a recipe on website. They give you all their background on how they got the recipe, where it came from, and then at the very bottom is the actual recipe. Same thing with any information you want to give somebody. Tell them how you derived it, you know, why you are giving them this information, you know, your research on it, and then at the bottom say, okay, now this is what you need to do. And then that way they are in your system. And then there's like, okay, well, what else do they have here? You know, you always want people to come to your website. You want to get that traffic, especially if you're applying for Google or getting ready to apply for Google.
Now, were you about to link the phrase at the bottom to the actual URL?
Yeah, so if I wanted to come here and link it to that URL, I could do the same thing. Paste that in there. And, you know, always want to make sure that opens in a new tab and click that. And then they can go to my actual YouTube and see it there too. And I have it here. But if you didn't want to put the video, the actual video there, you could actually link it and say, hey, if you want to see a video of how this works, follow this link, and then link the words. You don't actually have to use the video.
Is that what Rory had Paul teach one time on
Mhm.
some kind of embed something so they
Yeah.
can't like, okay.
Yeah, so I did the URL. Now, if you want to do the embed code, then you do the embed code, but you have to make sure you put that. Now, this one, if they click on it, it'll go to my next one, okay? The next sequence of events. It's not going to just stick to this and be done. The embed code that Paul was teaching us, you put that embed code in and it stops. As soon as that video stops, it stops. It cuts it off. It doesn't go to the next series of videos or whatever the next video is in that group. It stops there. It just cuts off, and then they can rewind it and play it again. This one, if they clicked it and played it, once it got finished, whatever the next video in sequence is, that's what it would show if they continued to watch it.
Okay,
Because
thanks.
I used a URL. Now, if I didn't want to, then I would use an HTML code for this one instead of the media. I would use the HTML block and put the embed code in, and then put that little extra code that Paul has in there, and then that way it would stay on my page.
Sheila,
Yes,
can I ask a question about something that came up in Paul's class this morning?
sure.
They were talking about reducing the size of the subheadings in your menu, in your category pages. You know, we're trying to get under 90.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure all this out. If we have things that are in the drop downs and they're not of importance, they can be reduced. Can we not just leave the link and the paragraph of that item in the category page?
Yes.
Summary, so that if they see that and they go, oh, that interests me, they can go
Yes.
to it without it actually being listed in the menu.
And that's what we are trying to figure out. Once we announced that we had to reduce our category to less than 90. Somehow it got skewed to your whole page had to be less than 90. Your whole website had to be less than 90.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's not the case. Your website needs to have as many pages in it as you can come up with. The thing about it is like each category menu that you have right here, this is your category, and your category basically has a short blurb Oh, I don't want my connection. Can y'all hear me? Did I lose you? I lost you. Hold up. I'm here.
Hi, Sheila.
My 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 Wi-Fi hotspot died on me. I was like, what?
She's in the cloud.
I was like, what's going on? Okay. What was I talking about? Somebody refresh me.
We were
Oh,
talking about the category and the menu.
HTML embeds and
There
then
you
the
go.
categories,
All right.
shrinking.
Yes. Oh, geez. Okay, so category menu. So when you are on your site, you have your category menus, and your categories are your arts and
Can't
entertainment,
see
beauty
your
and
site,
cosmetics.
Sheila.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
Nope.
Well, that
We
would
see
be
Paul.
helpful.
I mean, we see Rory.
All right, let me get there and share screen. How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure we're still recording. Are we still recording?
Yes, the
Yes,
red
okay.
button's there.
All right. So your menus structure has your categories, and each category is basically going to have a short blurb about whatever is in that menu or that you're writing about. So you're going to have just short individual, like here I got the blue scorpion. Here I got the hydrating cream, the anti-wrinkle cream. This is all blue scorpion, products. And then if you want to, which I have, then you can have your drop down menu. Which is just an additional page that you are pinpointing a specific product. Like this one is the specific page on just the blue scorpion venom that I've put in there because I want to pinpoint that. I want to highlight this page and let them know, hey, by the way, here's another page you can read more in detail. But these other ones, when you go to the actual category menu, if I click on any of these buttons, it will go to that page I've dedicated just to that. But until you create that page, you can actually send it just to the link, which I think I have on the hydrating cream. It goes straight to Blue Scorpion because I haven't finished my pages yet on the actual other products. Okay, same thing here with PGN Network. Here it is. Your category menu is where you basically put out, hey, got PGN platform, here you go. You want to do on performance giving, tipping circle, here's pay to watch TV, pay to game. I can put pay to game in there. I haven't put that one in there yet. But this is where you go and put like little short blurbs, but when they click on it, it takes them to my page on how to pay to game. You can put as many items on this page as you want. It still has to follow the guidelines for your SEO and your Yoast. It still has to have the content. It still has to have the images. It still has to have the readability. There's nothing different. It's still a page, but each one of these titles is going to go to an individual page in my system. You can have as many on here as you want. You don't have to have every one on here though. You might just want to pinpoint certain ones and then have the rest of them as floating pages. If you remove it from your category, it does not remove it from your page. If you remove it out of a drop down, it doesn't remove it from your page. Now, if you take it out of your drop down and you didn't have it in your main category, you can add it to your main category. You don't have to. That's the thing. That's why I said those that was on today, that's why I was telling people, that's why we have this amazing search tool right here in your system. So that if they see something in here or read something in here and it triggers a reaction that they say, hey, I want to find out if they got something else, they can search it based on key phrases, key terms. If you have it in here, if you have it anywhere in here. So if I just wanted to search, say, health, what do I have in my system is health. it's going to pull up every page I have that relates to health. Either it's going to have health in the title, it's going to have health in the page itself, and it's going to be consecutive. It's just going to go one after the other. Boom, everything I have related to health that shows health, and then it's going to click again. It's going to go to the next one that I have. What else do I have? Look, there's more health stuff. Look, health, and it's going to go consecutively. These pages may or may not be on my menu, but they're in my website. So here's another one, sports nutrition. You know, these are not on my, I can tell you now, this one's not on my menu, but it's in my
Tina,
page. Yes.
I have a question. So this, what you're scrolling right here, is this your home page?
No, this is my search page. So I actually did a search for health in my own website, and this is how it would pull up. Some of the pages are in my menu, some of them are not, but they're in my website for people to search for. Because for whatever reason, this 90 pages on a menu is really causing some issues for people with their website as a whole. And it doesn't need to. You can have as many pages in your website as you want. They don't all have to be on a category menu. They don't all have to be on a category page. That's why we call them floating pages. They're not listed anywhere other than your website. That means people can search. That's why you have that search right here in your website. So people can search your website, you know, just like they search
Sheila,
Google. Yes.
that was David was making a reference to that about the home page he uses like a menu at a restaurant, and he uses his home page as like a directory to his web, you know, like this is the category pages. You also have a search. Don't forget to do this. Go, you know, kind of like just a description of what they've just hit, you know, what they've gone into and what it all contains. So I don't know.
And it doesn't have to be that way. Your homepage, and this is Google. Like I said, I don't know those that was on last Tuesday and heard me. I got Google in 6 weeks. It took me 4 weeks to, well, 2.5 weeks to get my website. I did it twice in 2 weekends, my website, because I was still working almost 90 hours a week at my job. And it was like on the weekends from Friday night till Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, I did nothing but my website. I completed it the first time in 1 weekend. I redid it because I had my mom go through it. She couldn't get through the first category, she said, because she couldn't read it. It was too boring. I went back in and redid it again. I did advertising. I wrote new pages. And in the 4th week, I applied for Google. By the 6th week, I had ads on my page. And when I say I advertise, I kid you not, on Sunday evening or Saturday after I finish class, I cook something to eat, take care of my family, spend a little bit of time with them. When we get in the house and get settled, from the time I get back in the house to the time I go to bed, which is usually about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm advertising my site, either on social media, on social media and every advertising platform I have, I'm putting something out there. And I do it every week. I don't advertise during the weekend. It's very rare that I do because I'm usually either working with students, calling new students, or creating pages or doing something with my family. I always have family time every day. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm doing family time. So I know what my plan consists of, and it's worked for me. And I add pages all the time. And Google wants this homepage to be a reference to not only what you have in your system, and it doesn't have to be a detail. They just want to know, hey, do you have trending stuff? Do you have relevant stuff? Do you have things that's going to draw interest to people? Is your writing and content interesting to people? How many, and you want to have at least 2. I have 4 on mine. You know, show me or pinpoint to me, this is Google, pinpoint to me exactly what you have that I can expect people to see. You know, people are looking into
I like to think of it, I don't know if I'm right or not, but like the reference of street appeal when you're trying to sell a house.
Yep, exactly that. And it's same thing with the new mall. When you see a new mall, what is the first thing you want to do? Do they have a J.C. Penney's? Do they have a Belk's? Do they have a Neiman Marcus? Do they have a Tallheimers? You know, do they have my favorite stores that I want to look in? You
You
know,
want to see what all they have.
yeah, and then when you go into the mall, then you're just like, oh, well, there's a Foot Locker, there's a jewelry store, you know, there's a health food store, you know, there's a children's clothing store. You see all the little kiosks. So your homepage should be what is trending, what's people looking for. Okay, they're looking right now. People are looking right now for how to make money online. People are looking now, you know, what can I buy online? What can I get that I don't have to go outside for? You know, I want to get out of my house. I'm claustrophobic. You know, I'm tired of staying in. I need to get out. What kind of vacation plans can I find? What are cheap hotel rates? You know, where can I go close to home that's not going to drain what little bit of money I have left? So that's where you put your travel stuff. That's where you put your alternative health, like your Blue Scorpion. That's where you put, hey, thank you for coming to my page. Thank people for coming. Hey, you found my website. Thank you for looking through it. This is what I have to offer for you. Hey, do you need this? Do you want this? Hey, what are you looking for? I have this. You know, look into your trending markets and then do another page or another post and say, you know, are you looking for alternative health solutions? Are you looking for, you know, alternative energy sources? You know, I got one of my students, she's got an approval for an affiliate that has wind power, you know, and she's getting revenue off of wind power, you know, so that's one of the things you can write about. You know, what other options do you have? You know, hey, are you looking for alternative money solutions? We got Bitcoin, you know, so your home page should be a general reference of some of the things they can find, you know, and it just depends. You don't need to list a menu on your homepage. That's why you have a menu on your side so that they can see other things that's in there. But again, it's a personal preference. I know what Google liked about mine. Like I said, I got Google on the first try. My instructor didn't even know. She just came. She said, "You got Google?" I said, "Oh yeah." Was I supposed to tell you? I didn't know. You know, Debbie just let me do what I needed to do. She's wonderful. But she knows if I call her or need to get in touch with something, it's because I can't figure something out and I've exhausted all means available to me. So that's one of the things you need to do is just make your page and your website as individualized as you can, but still maintaining the look that, hey, people want to know and see what I have. Be trending, be upbeat, be versatile, have your hands in as many pots as you can and let people know that you have stuff that they need. And
Okay,
then and then in your website, do the same thing. You don't have, and I highly recommend, don't put everything you have in this category or don't try to. If you have something that you really, really want people to see and you don't have a menu for it or a category for it, create one. You know, because I created one for Blue Scorpion. I created one for PGN. And you know what? I ended up taking some stuff out. I created one for my Native American people. I put stuff in there based on my culture, you know, but I took some stuff out. I created a promotional and seasonal, you know, but again, I took some menus out that I wasn't utilizing. I didn't take the pages out of my system. I just took the menu out because it wasn't something I felt based on how I conducted my pages and my website. It didn't flow with my thought process. So you have that option. If you have a menu in here or something, you're like, well, that's not really something I want to market. You can take it out and put your own in there and make it more functional and more in lines with how you're setting up your website. There's only two don'ts that we have in our website, in our marketing. Don't change your URL and don't try to change your password. Other than that, this website's yours. You fix it the way you want to, the way you want it to flow, and the way that you want it to market. If you want it to be accessible to individual people, but still be appealing to the masses, then that's the way you set it up. But just remember, you don't ever want to single out anybody. That's why we say don't put political stuff where it's right in your face. Let it be a free floating page that people can search for. Because that's the fastest way to turn people off. Negative publicity, public travels faster than anything I know of. So
Doing everything.
so just, you know, that's one of the things you do. Just make your website as personable as you can, but still have content that everybody can search for.
Sheila,
Great.
I have
you.
a question.
Yes.
On the, you know, when it says you can't have more than 90 in your categories,
Uh-huh.
how do you find out how many you have?
You have to manually count them.
Are you serious?
Yes. We don't have a program. The other way is if you try to add one and it won't let you save it, then you've got too many. That's the only other way. Yeah, if you try to
Okay.
add something and it don't let you save it, then you have too many.
Okay, thank you.
I'm bordering. I think I have like 88.
Okay.
Sheila, it's Constance. Can I
Yes.
just, okay, now, you don't have to answer this because it may be too entailed, but when you were talking about getting the video off of YouTube,
Mhm.
and, you know, I've always had the problems of I want to get your video on and, you know, in my movie thing, try to, anyway. So what I wanted to do, and maybe I'm crazy, is that having the problems of trying to get your video anywhere else other than I think I just saw I could get it on here. So maybe what I could do is have a, not open for the public, but just a page or a something for me where I could now go and look at your video and have all my notes below it, and
Yep.
your picture, you know, your video be right there, so I don't have to go crazy and
You
have
don't. And what you could do is if you don't want
never
anybody else to,
told me this.
you what you have, and all you have to do is mark the page private, and Google will never look at it. No one else can get to it but you.
Okay,
How do you
private.
do that?
I'm not sure how, yeah, thank you. I don't, how do I
Yeah,
do
when you go to create a page,
yeah.
hold on,
do
let me go
it.
here. Go to your dashboard and you create your page, and when you go to save it,
Yeah.
let me go here to one of the draft pages. I'm just going to go in the draft
Okay.
and say we're going to do this one. You can go to edit. If most people just go into edit, and since this is in draft, it's going to pull up the different information.
Right.
All right.
See draft.
So this is in draft. This is in my draft.
Right.
So right here, when it goes to publish, you don't want to publish it. Right here where it says public,
Right.
click on that and go to private.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness gracious.
And it's going to say,
Wow.
would you want to you're going to publish it, but it's going to be private. That means no one can see it but you.
But why would I publish it and not keep it in draft? I'm confused.
You still have to publish it to see it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. What, okay.
It's going to still be a page. I mean, you can leave it in draft and just keep adding to it if you want to. That's totally up to you.
Yeah,
But you
I don't want to see it. I want to be able just to, you know, just to go to it and say, okay, you know, here's the most important classes. Here's my titles. I can even put it by title. Why do I, that's not what I don't understand.
If you want to search it in your website to find it, if you know that's where it's going to be at all the time in draft, then leave it in there and then just edit it as you need see to it. Okay, it's totally up to you whether you want to leave it in draft or publish it. But that's how you want to, because I have some pages that, you know, is just for me that is in private. Sometimes I journal, so sometimes I'll put it in my journal in here, and it's private. Nobody sees it but me.
Yeah, if it's published, then I have to update it all the time. Or if it's in a draft, I can just, you know.
You're going to be doing, you'll just be doing the same thing. It's just once you add something in it, you just hit save as draft. If you had it published, you added something to it, you just hit update. The process is the same. The terminology is just different.
Thank you for 3 years now, and I didn't know this.
You know what? I never even thought of that. To be honest, if you hadn't said it, I probably would have never thought about it.
Oh, where are you in Richmond?
Constance,
I'm getting ready to get a beat down.
Constance, what is it you're trying to do?
She likes to look at the videos and she makes notes of her own personal notes based on the video. So she had another program that she was transferring them over and stopping it and, you know, making notes from there. So now I've shown her how to go and get the URL and put it in her website. So now she's going to do a private page for just trainings that she needs for my YouTube.
Oh, so she can just look at the video.
Yes. instead of going and searching the videos on YouTube,
Page
you
and make
can just,
notes
And
below it.
right, and on the notes
Oh,
I can say, well, 3 minutes into it, this was the subject, or hey, 20 minutes into it, this was the subject. So
oh,
I don't
that's a
have to
Exactly.
good
go through the
idea.
whole
I
thing.
get lost in trying to find where I was at.
Well, I've
Try
got
to make
pages.
note of that the little numbers, you know, which number you were at.
I've got pages and pages of notes, and I look at them now and go, "What?"
yeah. But
Okay,
yeah, that's
Sheila,
a
this
great
is Linda
idea.
Marie.
Yes.
This is Linda Marie. Back to the pages where you show it like the home and you got little clips. This is what I was talking to you that one day about. How do you come up with the short little paragraphs off of your main page?
That's just, most people use your meta description. Some people just use their first paragraph, because your first paragraph should be a basic summary of what your whole page is going to be about.
Okay.
So that's all you have to do on any category that you're making on your category page. So if you're going to do one for the travel, so you'd go to your travel page, copy the first paragraph, paste it over into your category, and then put your link that goes to your travel page. Same thing with the juices. If you're going to do one for pressed juices, go to your health and fitness category, your health category, go to the bottom, copy the first paragraph off of your page, which we can do that now. I'm gonna, so this is the wrong one. So let's go back to, we're gonna go back to drafts, and I'm gonna get this one, and I'm gonna, actually, I'm just gonna get this right here, if it lets me. We'll copy this. And like I said, usually I have 2 sites open. And then I'm going to go to visit site. I'm going to go to my health and fitness and pull that up. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hit edit page. And I'm going to, yep, create a new headline. And you don't have to put a headline in. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, we make it easier to scroll through.
All right, and then I'm just going to create a paragraph block, paste that in there.
Saw that you didn't have the T.
Yep. And then there's that. And I might come back and edit it a little bit, because you don't want to have exact duplicates, because that's what I was telling one lady today. She was copying things from one site to another, or one page to another page, and it was still in her site. Google still sees that as scraping content. You still have to modify even in your own website. But I can put that in here and hit update, and then I'll, can come back and modify it. But what I would need to do is actually, now once my page gets finished, because it's in draft, I can't do it right now. But once the page gets finished, I would click on this and change it from the external link and put an internal link that's going to go back to my page I'm working on now. Because I want them to come back and read, because it's telling them to get more information. Click here. Okay, so let's check the chat. Yes, remind me we can do that.
You got to tell us what you're saying yes to, Sheila.
Oh, Barry was asking, can we go over Response Magic? I actually have one on my YouTube, Barry. Actually, there's a couple of them on how to create those. You can't change one that's already created. You have to actually create new ones. That's the only downsides about Response Magic, is you can't manipulate a created one. You have to create a brand new one.
Yeah, you have like 2 really, really, really good ones on Response Magic.
Thank you. All right, see you, Phyllis. Bye, Cynthia. Let's see what else. I think that was it. Yep. Okay, but yeah, Response Magic is a good tool to use, but once you create it, you really need, before you hit to go ahead and I forgot what the word is, submit it, You need to make sure that there's no arrows because you can't go back and fix it. Once you get that code or you get code, you can't go back and fix it. You have to create another one and delete the other one. But keep them all because you can interchange them in and out. I have so many. I think I got like 20 or 30 different ones that I use periodically, and I change them out every once in a while. Yes, Emilio, go ahead.
I was going to ask that about the response magic.
Yes.
If you're gonna replace the one you have with another one, what happens to the one that's there? And you just told me right now it automatically deletes the other
you
one.
have to, you have to delete that one, or you can write over it. So if you pull up the response magic code that's there and just copy the other code over it, then it will put it in the same place. If not, you delete that text bar and then create another one and then put it in there.
Okay.
So two different ways you could do it. But after you create the code, because I probably do one for the press juices that the page I'm getting ready to write after I create my meme I want to do, or my image I want to put in there, I'll probably put that one in my page, either on the home page or in the consecutive pages. I'm not sure yet, because there's a bunch of people, but I know I'll definitely be using the response magic on my social media.
Okay.
Because you can do that, because when you go to social media, I mean to your response magic, because a lot of people are not aware. Let me get rid of some of these. So when you go to your response magic, where do I have it? Marketing. And you create a magnet. You're going to go to review. And here's all your customer magnets that you've created. Unless you come in here and physically delete them, they stay here. They don't go away. Okay. So even if you remove it on your website, so if I took this blue scorpion out and put a different one in there, I could always come back and pull it up because I know I labeled it blue scorpion. So I can always come back and pull up my blue scorpion. You just hit get code, and there's your code, and you put it back in there. So once I create the other one that I want to use, I can do that. So and that's why it's important to label your response magic so you know what it's for. I know I have a couple in here I need to get rid of because they're for DC, and we need, we don't do DC anymore. I think I already did, but and these are the ones that I can actually, once I get it put out there, I can get that code, the squeeze link right here, and this is what you use for your social media marketing or your advertising, is you put this link out there and they can see this right here. So let's do that right now.
The reason I'm asking is because the response magic that I have on all my pages, I didn't put it on there. My previous instructor did.
Okay, but is it yours or hers? His.
It's mine.
Okay, yeah, so we can create another one. When we get together this week, I'll try to get together with you and we'll go through and create another one.
I hope it's mine.
Anyway. So I'm going to create a post here on Facebook, and I'm going to use that link.
That's another one I had to work on. How to work with Facebook. My daughters are the ones that are always helping me. Where did you go to do that?
I went to my Facebook page,
right,
and just went to create a post.
Okay. Sorry.
You're fine. All right, and then I'm going to add a photo. 'Cause like I said, we don't put links in your original post.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go to my logos, and I'm going to pull up my Blue Scorpion. I'm going to put my Blue Scorpion logo in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that, and then I'm going to hit post. And then after it posts, all right, I'm going to hit comments.
Information. MA.
Bryce Wild.
Mm-hmm. So you would insert the video?
No, that's why I'm going to put my Response Magic link. See right there?
Yeah.
And then that way, when they click on that link, they'll see the video. Plus, they can come in and fill out the form. I'll get an email saying that somebody filled out the form. I'll go in and send them a link. Once they fill out the form, they click on submit. It sends them to my Blue Scorpion page.
Mm-hmm.
But I also get a new listing in my Response Magic that I can put them on my Response Magic email and send
Okay.
them information.
Yeah.
So that's how you would do that. I don't know why the picture is fuzzy, but once they click on this link, this is where it goes to. So they can see the video, which is only a minute video. He's talking about Blue Scorpion. And then
Right.
there's my information once they fill it out, and they have to give me
Okay.
this information. They click Get Relief Today. It takes them to my Blue Scorpion page to read about and sign up for Blue Scorpion. So
Right.
that's how you would use that. And I don't have anything. This follows all of Facebook guidelines. There's no links in here, even though my picture has a link. It's not clickable, but they can always copy this if they want to, or type it into another source code, or open up a new tab and type it in. And then once they come here and click this, then it takes them straight to the video. They fill out the information, hit Get Relief Now, and it takes them straight to my page anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila,
Yes.
is there a place where you can go and you can get information to read and study what each of these social media platforms allow and disallow?
Yeah, if you go to Facebook itself, you can actually type in facebook.com and actually type in guidelines. There should be something here. Where is it? That has should be something here. I can't remember where it's at that you can actually see, but if you go in right here, advertising terms down at the bottom,
Right.
you can click on that and it will pull up all the stuff about your Facebook terms and policies.
Oh.
Aha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
And they've changed a lot of their policies. They used to be very lenient about the links in your actual post, and then they changed it so that now you have to put the link in the comment. I mean, you can put a link in your post and it'll only show up on friends and family links, or people that are actually in your friends group. If you put the link in a comment and just do your post, and your post can go on the news feed. And the way it works is videos are higher viewed. Then you have posts with images. Posts that have no images, no videos, those are the last to go on the news feed. So that's why we always say, if you can put a video, put a video. If you have an image, make sure you have an image. Never post any kind of comment without something on it. For the news feed, because it hardly ever gets seen on the news feed if it doesn't have at least an image or a video. So don't just put a post with nothing on it. It probably won't make it to the news feed.
Okay.
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 All right. Anything else? It's about 3:30.
Hey, Sheila.
Hey, dear.
How you doing, darling?
I'm good. I had to cut my air back on, so if you hear murmuring, that's air.
Oh, all right, no problem. But I noticed in the chat, Ann has been trying to. She said she's not being heard. Ann.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that, and I don't know. I can't hear her.
And she's on mute. So I wonder.
Let's see if I can unmute her, because I haven't muted anybody.
I'm
I
gonna have
left
to
it
go
kind of
to,
open. Okay, see ya. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Have a good weekend.
You too. She's not on here now. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she's showing being muted.
All right, she's muted herself. I can't unmute her.
Okay.
Yeah, so she has to unmute herself. It won't let me. So that means she's done it on her side. There you
Oh,
go.
there she is.
Can you hear me now? Miss Ann? All right, she's not muted. Type your question in the chat and let's see if I can get it for you. But yeah, you're unmuted.
She might need an external mic or something like.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, see you later, Karen.
Thank you, y'all. Have a great weekend.
All right, now remember next week we won't have class. I got a baby shower.
I've got it marked. All right. Y'all have
Bye.
a good day. Bye-bye.
No, Miss Ann, I can't hear you. So it might be your internal or external mic's not working. If you have a question, type it in and I'll see if I can get you the answer for you. My daughter just responded to my post I just put out. She said, how many times hadn't I told you you need to make a video of what that product did for you and just instead of posting it?
Oh.
Oh, my email address is mamachief0358. I'll put it in here at gmail.com.
Hey, Sheila.
Yes.
Let's see. You got get paid to play games. So is playing games back in the media now? Because I know when I was first starting to trying to do all my stuff in the beginning, what 2 years ago, the play games
It's a different program.
Okay.
Play the Game is in our Tipping Circle now.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And the free TV. We don't have the same free TV. TV should be Tipping Circle.
Okay. And I'm seeing advertisements on TV and getting them in the mail about free TV. I'm going, no, that's us. You're not us.
Yeah, go ahead. That's why I said if you got those pages done, you need to go ahead and start marketing it because everybody is doing it because everybody's staying home now.
Right.
There's a lot of people at home. That's why I said my Google's gone through the roof.
Right. Oh, my battery's running low. Oops.
All right. All right. If there's nothing else, I think I'm going to call it a day. Let's see what we got. One more in chat. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sheila,
Yes.
what date are we gonna get? I need time with you.
Yeah, let me finish this weekend and get back home and get settled, and then I'll go through my calendar and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Have an awesome weekend.
Y'all too, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
All right, y'all have a great one. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.